Right now on Fox 35 News at 10, a terrifying tornado.
That's a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado.
The storm touched down in Longwood.
Debris right now on the roof.
And then took aim at Fox 35.
You can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately.
In the blink of an eye, people now left with nothing. A trail of destruction marking the path of the tornado.
And I just hope everyone's safe because it's pretty messy over there.
New tonight, stories of survival you'll only see here on Fox 35.
There was total destruction all the way around.
Well, the cleanup effort's still underway at this hour. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. One house completely gone after 120-mile-an-hour winds ripped through parts of Seminole County. We have live team coverage tonight as we shift our attention to cleanup efforts. Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn spent the afternoon speaking with homeowners about what it was like to live through a tornado. Meteorologist Noah Berggren is in studio giving us a breakdown of the storm. But Hannah McKenzie starts us off in Longwood, where some homes are severely damaged. Hannah, that area saw some of the worst of this storm.
Marlisa, it sure did, but now cleanup efforts are well underway here in Longwood. If we check out over here, some broken windows have since been boarded up since the last saw them. And heading over on this side, we have piles of tree debris, large limbs just stacked on the side of the street. The homeowner here telling me this oak was about 150 years old. The National Weather Service confirming this EF2 tornado was only on the ground for about 5 or 6 minutes, but the amount of damage it did in that time is extensive. And the tornado's path was just shy of 2 miles. According to NWS, only about 10% of tornadoes in Central Florida reach EF1 or EF2 status. So this was very rare. Everyone I have spoken with in this neighborhood telling me tonight they are counting their blessings. Live in Longwood, Hannah McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
I was watching you guys on Fox 35, and I was very, very thankful to have your coverage because it was Brooks, you say, that was on this morning, and he named 2 streets that were right here, and that this I knew those streets, and because he named those streets, I knew that it was close and it had touched down right by me, and I knew not to ignore this one. I think a lot of times we ignore these warnings or we see these things and we think, it's fine. But because he named those streets, I'm like, I better get in this closet. So I was very thankful for that and thankful to him.
Yeah, it was a terrifying morning for some residents in the Longwood area. You just heard from one of them who was caught right in the middle of the storm. And Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Berggren joins us now.
So, Noah, you spent much of the afternoon surveying that damage, getting a closer look at it. What are your takeaways from today?
You know, guys, tornadoes are more common than I think we give them credit for in Central Florida. We've had thousands of tornadoes in recorded history in the Florida Peninsula. It's EF2 and stronger. They get more and more uncommon. This was not a long-lived tornado. My first takeaway is, had this been 4 in the afternoon and not 9 in the morning, we probably would have been looking at this tornado going for 4 times the length, not just 6 minutes. So it started about 9:35 this morning. There's the path very specifically in red. Reached its peak intensity about halfway through. The damage path just over 4 miles. And here you can see on the velocity data, the loop, I'll show you this more coming up in a few minutes. There's the tornado. Tracked northeast towards Fox 35 and I-4, then lifted right past our station. Here it is on our exclusive radar, and you can see there's the hook echo. You can see kind of that little 6 on the radar beneath the path. Not a long-lived tornado, you know, for how intense it was. It's notable how short the duration was. Normally in a tornado of this intensity, you'd be talking about something a lot longer, but just 6 minutes on the ground, and it was only at EF2 intensity for about maybe 90 seconds. I want to make that clear if that's been misleading or we didn't say that. It's not EF2 the whole distance. The damage here, the damage by our TV station is only about EF0, only comparatively so, EF0 and EF1 compared to the center point right there where it was EF2. Much more on the meteorology, the historical precedents for this, and the forecast for the next few days coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Noah, thanks so much. Tonight we have new video of the moments that rare EF2 tornado whipped through the Longwood neighborhood.
Yeah, the video you see behind us is from a Ring doorbell as the tornado tore through that neighborhood. And Fox 35's Kelsey Karen joins us live from this disaster zone. So, Kelsey, the house behind you there, completely gone.
Yes, John and Marlisa, it is really a miracle or maybe an act of God that kept those two people that were right inside this house behind me safe here. As you can see, we're showing you some drone video from earlier this morning. You can see just a pile of just bricks and beams and rubble. And if we take a closer look together here, I'm going to get as close as we can. Right here, this is the closest as we can get because this is the fire line tape. As you can see, all that is really left standing are these palm trees. Now, while this house took the brunt of that tornado damage, there was another resident that I spoke with earlier this evening who has his own account of the storm. And, you know, it's just so surreal to see that video up close of the glitching camera with just the force of the winds. Now, coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, I was actually able to speak with a family who had to hunker down as they heard the roaring winds of that tornado rip through. Stay tuned for that story coming up tonight at 11. For now, reporting live in Seminole County tonight from the disaster zone, I'm Kelsey Cairns, Fox 35 News.
All right, thanks, Kelsey. And check out this video of the tornado blasting the Scholastic warehouse in Lake Mary. This, by the way, right across the street from our Fox 35 studios. You can see debris flying as the tornado cut right across their parking lot as well. Meanwhile, Fox 35 studios here in Lake Mary also took a hit.
Meteorologist TJ Springer gives us a look at how powerful this storm was.
The wind from today's EF2 tornado caused so much damage, including my own personal vehicle here in the Fox 35 Studios parking lot. As we're about to show you, the glass from the sunroof completely blown out, likely from the strength of the wind and the difference in pressure potentially as well. You can see the sunroof gone, the glass all over the place. And we're going to show you even more video footage of how nasty things got as that tornado tore through. This video from the station shows my car as the storm was moving through. We never actually see anything hit the sunroof, so I think the pressure difference inside versus outside, as well as the strong wind, helped cause the explosion. But this is just one of the videos from around our station. Watching this Fox 35 video showing the moment the storms move in, look through the rain and watch as one of our satellites tips over in the wind. Another angle from the back of our building and weather deck shows branches coming crashing down, taking our temperature sign with it too. And one more angle from the front of our building really shows the wind picking up, the sky turning to a whiteout from the rain whipping around. The damage to my own personal vehicle is just one of the reasons why we say get away from windows and get inside when a tornado could be possible. Here at our Fox 35 studios, meteorologist TJ Springer, I'll send it back over to you.
Wow, TJ, thanks so much. And you can depend on Fox 35 to be on the air, bringing you the latest when severe weather's happening, even if we're in the midst of it too. You can still watch us on the air or the Fox local app. You can download it in the App Store.
Well, Fox 35 News at 10 is just getting started. It's been about 3 decades since the last time a storm like this strong hit Seminole County.
And that storm back in 1998 is something that the people living there will never forget.
I laid right in the doorway with him, his blanket, and me, and by the time I got on the floor, it was over. That's how quick it is.
We're hearing from a family sharing their experiences and resilience.
This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. This is a very serious situation. You've got to seek shelter. You've got to get to the lowest level of your home. So, Sanford, it's heading your way.
Because he named those streets, I'm like, I better get in this closet. So I was very thankful for that and thankful to him.
And this really was a day where you can depend on the Fox 35 storm team.
On your phone, on your TV, download the Fox 35 local app.
As you know by now, it was a very busy weather morning all across Central Florida, including right here at the Fox 35 studios.
Fox 35 News was live on the air the moment this morning's tornado hit our station. Take a look.
That could be it, guys. Bring that camera up full. Okay, this is a live view from our TV station of what may be, at the very least, it's torrential rain crossing I-4 right now. We could be looking at a tornado on camera. Look at those trees blowing around. Okay, bring the camera up, guys, if you can. Zoom out. Can you zoom out? This is a look at the live camera of a tornado, which could be passing by our station right now. Okay, there's debris. We've got debris on. Okay, take shelter. Everybody in the Fox 35 building, get to your safe space under your desk if you're not in a designated area. We're catching debris right now on the roof. Debris is on the roof right now. We're hearing, you can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. Get under your desks, guys. Anchors under the desks. Everybody get on the desks. We're still in the debris zone. Everybody get in. Everybody get in the studio. Come on in, guys. Okay, we got power flickering out. That's a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado. National Weather Service, if you're listening, this is a confirmed tornado. Right over the Lake Mary studios. This is heading into Lake Mary and Sanford right now. This is a very serious situation. This is a real live tornado. It just hit our station. I've been doing this for a very long time. That's the first time a tornado has hit me while I'm doing the weather. Thank goodness for our facilities here at Fox 35 to keep us on the air and keep you apprised of the situation.
The roof, it was trying to get torn off by that tornado. You can see it kind of lifted up there. This limb got torn off. It did some pretty good damage to this side of the car, a pretty good dent, ripped the handle right off, and you can see the shattered window there. We're out here broadcasting the weather many mornings. Our camera completely broken, the grill, probably some damage to that. And then, I mean, look at all the tree limbs down around here. We have a little roofing here that shelters the lights, the camera, the monitor. The monitor is now over here. That's our TV monitor that we're looking at when we're broadcasting the weather to you out here from the weather deck. So a lot of damage, and you can see how the steel, this beam here, I imagine maybe was holding up lights at one point in time. This is completely bent. I mean, this is bolted into the concrete here.
Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergen joining us now.
Okay, boy, it was a crazy day out there. So that pole that you saw there at the very last, that's the one that I think gets me the most because it's in concrete, and that's a steel pole. It's just bent sideways.
You've got
that's
to remember,
amazing.
too, the pressure. A lot of these people there describe that the ears popping, the headache, the pressure in that area. Think of how big of a hurricane it is, right? Remember Milton?
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of miles wide.
Absolutely.
That pressure over that diameter is concentrated in, the focus of a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, your ears are popping. I mean, windows are shattering just from the pressure change, let alone
it
the wind.
explains TJ's the sunroof just gone. It's not in the car. It's just gone somewhere out there just to pop it out like that. That's amazing.
It's as much that pressure change that creates that effect into houses, from things sucking in one side and going out the other. Really notable how intense it got for such a short-lived tornado. I think that's the biggest takeaway, was normally to see a tornado of this intensity in Florida, the path would have been a lot longer than just 6 minutes. And it was not on the ground at that intensity for more than 2 minutes, tops. 9:35 this morning, it touched down. There's the loop, tracked to the northeast. This is our radar, went right over the station, then lifted. Very fortunate it did not continue into Lake Mary and Sanford. It probably would have if it was 6 hours later and there was more heating during the day. So there's the path, specifically just in the corner of Wekiva Springs, probably lifted right down the road from Fox 35. There's a Topgolf right down the road from our studio. Probably right before it got there, it lifted. EF2, 400 yards wide. Now remember, the entire length is not EF2 intensity. That's the peak intensity, very specific and important designation. The entire thing is not at that intensity. In fact, the official observation when it hit us being Fox 35, was an EF1. Laura and I checked our weather sensor. We recorded a sustained wind, not a gust, a sustained wind at our TV station of 80 miles an hour. So most times a sustained wind of 80, you're gonna have a gust at about 100 or so, which would be in line with what it would have looked like. So here's the velocity data from earlier. Remember, red is wind going away from the radar, green is toward, where you see them right close to each other. There's the rotation tracking to the northeast. Survey will continue tomorrow. There's a chance that this could get upgraded further based on any engineers or anybody from the Weather Service that goes out there and takes a look at this, but probably it's going to settle, I think, at high-end EF2 intensity. It's the first EF2 to hit Orange or Seminole County since the historic 1998 outbreak that had several strong tornadoes. We've had EF2 tornadoes since, but not in Orange and Seminole County. This was the radar, and something I want to bring to your attention is what we call this notch. It's a lot of lingo and a lot of things we throw out in the moment. The important thing is keeping you safe, which is what Brooks and the team did very well this morning. But the meteorology side of this is when you see this, we call a V notch with the reflectivity, or the red on here there's a little notch. That's where the tornado is. And it got really strong. I mean, and looking back at it, I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't stronger, the tornado, given how clear that notch was as it went over parts of Longwood and towards Lake Mary. Really notable. This was the radar at 9:34 this morning. This was it at 9:37. It was right over Timber Ridge Drive, specifically at 9:37. Right here, Markham Woods Road, this is where the worst of the damage was. Pretty clearly about 9:37 was when it reached its EF2 intensity. And then once it got to about I-4 and Fox 35, this was the specific damage path, probably only about an EF1 intensity, and then it lifted. We've got much more for you on why this happened this morning. If you missed the forecast that are like, where in the world did this come from? I'm going to go through that with you, the extended forecast, and much more in a few minutes. Stay with us.
When the sun goes down, that's when this town lights up. Central Florida is full of energy. Your news should be too. I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. Join me late nights at 11 for the late news that won't put you to sleep.
Fox 35 Late News at 11, weeknights.
Developing news tonight, the main suspect in the disappearance of an elderly woman from Titusville is now charged with her murder. This man right here on your screen, David Barber, is now facing 1 count of premeditated murder, 1 count of arson, and 1 count for abuse of a human body. The charges are in connection to 72-year-old Jesse Kirk's highly suspicious disappearance and death. Detectives say the charges stem from evidence collected from her burned car and body. As lawyers start to look into the case, friends and family are holding a vigil for Kirk. This Friday, a candlelight vigil will be held at 7 p.m. at Sandpoint Park in Titusville. Money raised on Kirk's behalf will go to the Jess Parish Medical Foundation and the Children's Advocacy Foundation as well.
Developing now, a 17-year-old is arrested accused of threatening to shoot up Seminole High School. Now the state attorney has to decide if that person will be tried as an adult. Sanford police say that he posted a video with these realistic-looking airsoft guns claiming to have ties to street gangs and ISIS. That teenager could face charges of threatening terrorism if he is tried as an adult. He, by the way, is a student at Elevation High School in Seminole County, but lived only a few miles away from Seminole High.
Well, we are just getting started. Coming up, we're taking a trip back in time. Hear from the man who was in Orlando and lived through the last major tornado we saw in 1998.
Plus, another tough day for your 401k. Lawmakers starting debate on the new spending bill, but fears of a recession are changing things very quickly. A tornado smashes through Central Florida and takes 1 house with it. And for one family, the devastation, well, it was a mess. It was a miracle, though, that the tornado didn't do a whole bunch more damage.
Yeah, tonight, cleanup efforts are on in Longwood. Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns is live in Seminole County for us tonight. So, Kelsey, what are you seeing out there at this hour?
Right. Good evening, Marlisa. Now, there has been just an all-day effort to try to clean up this neighborhood to make sure everyone is safe and there's no, dangers really in the road here. So I'm going to introduce you to our friends at Osceola Response Team. And this is Richard Herr. He is the executive director. So what is it, sir, quickly for our viewers that are just tuning in now? What is it that you guys do?
We have a nonprofit located in Osceola County. It's probably about a year old now. Okay. We have open the freezers where we feed people, but we also had the storm team and stuff like this happens. We're ready to roll. We're here right now. We got a team out here just checking on people, making sure they're okay. We have a box truck about 3 miles away from us if they need clothes, food, anything. We're ready to go. That's how it has to work.
Right, and you're ready to respond wherever you need to be. Last time we spoke with you, sir, it was during the hurricanes of 2024. So let's take a look at your truck here. Let's see what you got. What do you have to prepare for all of the debris and trees and that sort of thing?
Yeah, we're hopefully this year coming up, we won't have no storms. Let's just pray to God. But if we do, we're here, and we're here to help. We got all our saws ready. We keep everything maintained all the time.
Sure.
Since the last time you saw us, we've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Now we're up to like 60-some volunteers. We got a couple more trucks. We stay busy.
That's amazing. Have there been any stories of people who you've been helping right now? I know you guys got here an hour ago.
I got to go check on her. I think she's alone. She's just scared. So she came down and talked to a couple of my guys. She's like, "Can you come and check out my house with me?" So
right. So
I got
you're there
right down right now, and then we're going to go back down there too.
Sure. So you're there to check out her home, make sure that she's safe and that sort of thing. So
she feels good.
We're not going to interrupt your job right now. We're going to send it back to our viewers right now. But it's so great to catch up with you, sir. Great work you're doing out here. Stay safe. And we're going to send it back to you guys in studio.
Kelsey, thanks so much for the update. New at 10:30, a look back at the last time we saw a tornado of this magnitude in Central Florida. It happened back in 1998, nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah, tonight we're hearing from one man who lived through that event and also today's storms. Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn joins us live after hearing that man's story. So, Chancellor, he has some stories to tell.
Yeah, John, Marlisa, when a serious tornado touches down in Central Florida like the one this morning, some people who lived through those historic and deadly tornadoes back in 1998, they think back to those terrifying moments over 27 years ago. In fact, take a look at this memorial. This is Lake Jessup Park, and this memorial lists the names of the people in Seminole County who were killed that tragic night. Now, families here in Seminole County say they will never forget what they went through. Now, Russ Sibley says he remains thankful to those organizations like the Salvation Army. In fact, to this day, he tells me they continue donating to the Salvation Army each year. Reporting live in Seminole County, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 35 News.
Wow, Chancellor, thanks so much. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard is in the studio tonight to explain some of the history of tornadoes here in Central Florida.
Yeah, Laurel, it is tornado season. We know that. So today's just a great reminder that you got to have a plan in place because this has happened before.
Yeah, absolutely. And building off of what Chancellor was saying, let's actually take a look back at the tornado outbreak from 1998. So this is from February 22nd into the very early morning hours of February 23rd. You can see all of the tracks right there, and a few of them are not listed as tracks because they were EF0 tornadoes, but still they are noted right there. You can see those orange tracks being EF3s, the yellows being EF2s, little blue tracks over here more in Brevard County, those are EF1s, and you can see the EF0s are listed, one in the very southern Brevard County and one up by Gainesville as well. So this is the widespread outbreak, but I do want to focus in once again on Seminole County. But first, let's actually take an overlook of what this outbreak caused. Overall, 9 tornadoes in Central Florida, 3 of them being EF3, 2 of them EF2s, which is the same strength that we saw with our tornado today. 42 fatalities, 259 injuries reported from this event. And let's again focus in on Seminole County. This is the one that Chancellor was talking about and that family that was affected then. Winds 136 miles per hour and 165 mile per hour, somewhere in between there. That path length 16 miles, that width 200 yards. In just that storm alone, 13 fatalities and 36 injuries. But just to show you exactly how close these storms were, this is our track from today. Again, an EF2 tornado, 120 mile per hour winds reported. Again, with that, the path length 4 miles, path width 300 yards, and laying just next to the path that we were just looking at, 4 miles away from where both of those tornadoes were confirmed on the ground. John, Marlisa.
Thanks, Laurel. And the Fox 35 Storm Team is always working to keep you safe, and you can see more of our exclusive videos of the moment the tornado hit our studios. It's on the Fox Local app on your smartphone and also your smart TV.
And news alert now. U.S. stocks plunged today with tariff uncertainty fueling fears of a recession. Fox 35's Kevin Cork explains President Donald Trump is defending his policies, but some economists warn about risks.
Well, one of the biggest questions that follow severe weather is who is responsible for trees if they fall on your property? Well, the proposed law could help answer that question. This proposal currently being debated by state lawmakers up in Tallahassee. It would change Florida from a no-fault state and instead put the responsibility on the tree's owner. That means if your tree falls in your neighbor's yard, it would be on you to pay to fix it. But some say it's not always as simple as just going after the person who owns the tree.
We've had customers that have planted trees on their property, but it's so close to the line as the tree grows, and once that tree extends onto the property line, it is now both of their trees.
Well, this law would still allow you to trim any branches that encroach on your own property. The proposed law is only meant for properties smaller than 5 acres, so farms, they say, would be exempt.
A tech twist to deportation. Illegal immigrants can now register to leave and potentially return legally with a little help from a new app. Meet me tonight at 11 on the late news at 11 for more details.
All right, next year on Fox 35 News at 10, the Orlando Pride return this week. As the reigning champs, they are the team to beat. We catch up with the team ahead of the new season. And a major vape company settles with Florida over ads targeted at kids. The deal also includes something that could impact other vape companies. All right, first of all, the Fox 35 Pump Patrol, we found gas at $2.79 a gallon, or $2.78 a gallon rather, as at the racetrack on University Boulevard in Winter Park.
Fox 35 is the #1 late news.
We are following two big breaking stories.
We are in western Jackson County.
We spent all day calling, emailing, texting.
You could get addicted and you can die. He was my son.
Depend on Fox 35 News. Nightlights is sponsored by Ocean Bank, taking business further.
In the Fox 35 Sports Zone, the defending champs are back. The Orlando Pride kick off their season this week, hoping to make it back-to-back championship seasons. And Fox 35's Jessica Ely caught up with the team ahead of this new soccer season. All right, take a look at the difference here between the Lake Mary Tower cam tonight versus this morning. You can see quite the difference there right now. It's all calm this evening, but nearly white out with all that heavy rain and the winds. And here comes the tornado. You can see it. Watch the debris go sideways in your upper right-hand corner, and that's the tornado that hit our studios earlier today. Noah is back with us after he spent the day out there in Longwood at some of the houses that were destroyed there. So again, you've covered a lot of tornadoes over the years up in the Midwest.
You've seen many too.
And I've seen many. A little surprising when I heard it was an EF2 and the amount of damage because it's a short space that it hit and just stayed on the ground for a while and did a lot of damage there.
One counter to you on that point before we go to the graphics. When I was in Cocoa Beach, the mayor's house got hit in Milton.
That's right.
Those houses were built, some of them pretty new. These were built in the 80s. None of these that I at least heard of, correct me if I'm wrong if you're in that area, email in, no hurricane straps. Now I'm not saying they need to be, but it's an interesting debate because in the Midwest, as you know, now an EF1 tornado, every roof everywhere is off.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, in Florida, a lot of houses are built to a very different code that you see stronger tornadoes in the houses are actually in pretty good shape.
And that's a good point. With when everything was built, you can see as the area's grown up how the damage is there.
There is certainly a debate to be had in the United States about increasing building codes to match that of Florida, specifically for tornadoes. But today, 9:35 a.m. to 9:41 in the morning, there's your loop of the tornado, about 4 miles long, EF2 in intensity peak, 400 miles peak width. Okay, so you might be wondering, we get it. We saw the video. We've seen the photos. We're thankful. Praise to the Lord. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed. I've been on the other end of that on December 10th in Western Kentucky. I never want to experience that again in my life. So in Brooks and Jess and Laurel and TJ, all of us have been on the other side of this kind of day where people got hurt or killed. And the best part of today, nobody got hurt or killed. That said, you might be wondering, why did this happen? Well, let me take you step by step by step. Here's all the tornado warnings today. There were 9 of them across Florida. This was not a complete shock. We had a system coming across. Laurel last night put out a weather impact day, if you caught our forecast late, because we were tracking this cold front. These were the tornado warnings with the supercell, an isolated cell that ended up producing our tornado in Seminole County. The first warning back towards Bay Lake was issued about 8:33 in the morning. The last one on the coast, 10:46 a.m. this morning. Those are the tornado warning polygons on this Monday, March 10th. So why did this happen? Well, a couple of things you need for severe weather, not just in Florida. Low pressure and a cold front. Low pressure was in Georgia. That's where it has to track. I don't care what month it is. If we're going to get tornadoes in the Orlando area, there has to be low pressure there. Check. A cold front. What does a cold front do? It forces the air to rise. When the air rises, you get thunderstorms. So low pressure, correct spot. Cold front, force the air to rise. We got storms. Winds from the west behind the front, from the southwest ahead of the front. If you're a weather buff, you watch a lot of weather, Fox weather, you know what I'm about to say. This is called wind shear. Winds at the ground from the southwest to the northeast. So you open your door this morning, the winds were very strong. 9:30 this morning from the southwest to the northeast. If I strapped all of us on a jetpack and we went up to 20,000 feet, the winds go from southwest to northeast they change remarkably with speed and the direction, and that's called wind shear. When you get a thunderstorm that forms through that, that's how you get the spinning. And the greater the change in speed and direction as you go up, the stronger a tornado can be. You also have to have unstable air. We've had a couple weather impact days recently where we didn't get any tornadoes, and we talked about there was a small chance. Not every one of these is going to produce one, but that's why we frame them carefully for you when we issue these weather impact days or storm alert days. Not every one of these is going to produce this. Some will. Not everyone. But what we haven't had recently, we had today, unstable air. You probably noticed it was really humid this morning. The dew points were in the high 60s. That's tropical air. You combine that humidity with that wind energy, and that's how you get tornadoes. Tornadoes are not uncommon in Florida, especially your central Florida. It's been a while since we've had a strong tornado like this. You could probably argue by the stats we were overdue for one, at least around Orlando. It's been many years in Seminole or Orange County. EF2, 111 to 135 miles an hour. By the way, remember, tornadoes are based on the damage they do. There could be an EF5 in the middle of rural Osceola County. If it doesn't hit anybody, it's not an EF5. It could weaken to an EF1 and hit one house, then that tornado becomes an EF1. They're based on the damage after on damage surveys. So the best news about today and tonight, nobody injured. Tomorrow's beautiful, sunny, 74, 80 on Wednesday. The humidity's lower behind that system. Next thing to know about is it's going to get warm and really humid for the weekend. We'll be in the mid to high 80s on Saturday and Sunday. John.
All right, thanks, Noah. Well, if you need a break from screen time, well, there's an app for that, as odd as that may sound. Next here on the Fox 35 News at 10, a new way to get a little less internet and a little more time outside. All right, before we head to break, we have our night lights showing us, what are we looking at there? That's downtown Oakland, California. Couldn't see much there. It's a little dark out in California right now, and you're watching Fox 35 News at 10.
Fox Local is Fox 35. Live news and more. On your phone, on your TV. Fox Local is built for you. Fox Local.
Vape company Juul agreed to pay Florida $79 million in a settlement over advertising to children. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer announced that settlement this morning. In this settlement, Juul agreed not to use models under the age of 35. They also agreed not to advertise in movies or on TV. Uthmeyer says Juul started changing their business practices after the investigations here in Florida began.
We take the safety of our children seriously, full stop. We're happy with this settlement. I recognize Juul for working well with our office. We began this project as, parties on different side of a V in a lawsuit, and today we end as partners that are working together, working to protect our families and our kids.
The money from this settlement will establish the Vape Free Future Fund to go after vape companies who market towards children. Also trending right now, a new app helps encourage you to get outside by taking away stuff. Touch Grass, that's the name of it, asks you to pick 2 apps that take up the most of your time. It then blocks those apps. The only way to unlock them is to take a picture of yourself outside, actually touching the grass, and then submitting the photo. You can then choose how much time you want to spend on each restricted app. Right now, Touch Grass is only available via pre-order. It does not come out until Friday and is only available in the Apple App Store. Interesting. All right, the late news at 11 is coming up next, and Fox 35's Marlisa Goldsmith continues our coverage in just a couple of minutes.
Wake up with Brooks and Jessica weekday mornings on Good Day Orlando.